I struggle to know like when to show my pain. Not that you can pick and choose really, but sometimes if you're in public, like sitting in the bar or whatever with your mates, or going for a walk with your friends or whatever, and you're like getting sharp, like I call them lightning pains, you know, they're like really, really sharp pains right up through your soul. If I get like a lightning pain, and like, you know, you want to just like collapse the ground, and a lot of the time we do naturally anyway, but it's so hard to, like, I keep a mask on and like keep a poker face so much throughout like really, really bad flare-ups. And I don't know if that's a good thing, or if like me taking off my poker face would be looking like attention seeking then. That's the thing, like, you know, I don't think a lot of my close family and friends realise how unwell I am, you know, and that's not on them. That's to do with me putting on a poker face. That's the me that I'm presenting to them. So it's not really their fault that they don't have a full understanding of how unwell and how affected I am every single day. As much and all as I'd love them to know, in the sense it would feel a wee bit less alone and you're not the only person, like you have someone to understand what's going on. But I honest to God think that if we started taking down that like strong look and that, like, you know, keeping it together, putting on a poker face thing that we all do, like when we are getting really bad flare-ups during our bad days, and like we try and act fine, look fine, seem fine, just to get on with it. But if we did kind of let it slip a wee bit, then there's always the wee part of you that's like, oh, will they think I'm just attention seeking? Will they think, you know, because I have been acting fine for so long? You know what I mean? It's like, will it be taken seriously? So what's, like, it makes you think, what's the point in acting fine when you're not fine? So then, like, that's grand, but at the same time, sometimes it's easier to just try and get on with it the same as anyone else. And that's kind of what I want to do. That's what, like, when you are chronically unwell, you just want to get on with the same as everyone else. So as much and all, I think it's my own self-denial as well. Like, I'm making myself seem fine. I'm like forcing myself to present myself as doing okay and not in pain and all, because I don't want to face the fact that I actually am, and that this is like the life that I'm having to live. But I think the government definitely needs to be shown that vulnerable side more. Like, I know, like you're saying, like family and friends, and I'm saying it would help them understand, and I'd love that, but like I'd rather the government see the vulnerable, emotional and like difficult side of endometriosis care, and it's not good. It's really not good, and it needs to be, like, they need to see how it's affecting us, because I don't think they actually see it fully, to how it all affects us. Like, my mental health would be fragile enough as it is. Like, the doctors and the bouncing from doctor to doctor and the not being taken seriously, and is it in my head, all this sort of stuff at such a young age, going through all that, being poked and prodded and passed from doctor to doctor, it's just not, it takes a toll big time. And that, like, and I was still in school and trying to get through my school days without flaring up, and like trying to finish my leaving cert and all this sort of stuff. And it's just, especially when you're trying to balance like school at such a young age and trying to balance like work or a relationship or your friendships, or then just the actual mental toll of the medical journey takes on itself, you know what I mean? You need support big time, because it's so easy to slip into a negative headspace when all you're dealing with is negativity. If it's negatively impacting, or if you're not getting positive results from the doctors, that's negative. It's impacting school negatively, it's impacting whatever, it's impacting work negatively, it's impacting, you know, your everyday. So then if everything else around you is negative, your head takes a toll, 110%. There needs to be some form of therapy or some support groups, or definitely it needs to be like pushed for sure, because people need support. Like, there's so many young girls that probably have no one to chat to about it, and are on this journey, that the difficult journey that like we've all been on, but doing it alone or relatively alone, and that's terrifying. You know, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I only had like one person that I knew really with endometriosis that would openly talk about it. Like, my nana wouldn't talk about it. She'd be quite religious, quite holy, and her way of dealing, like my nana's way of dealing with endometriosis was just having like 10 bobbies and then getting a hysterectomy. So I just, that's talking to her about it, and she wouldn't talk about it in the first place, but talking to her about it wasn't an option because I didn't agree with that, and I didn't want that way of treatment for myself. But if she had chosen it for herself, that's grand, absolutely. But I needed someone who had gone through medical surgeries and stuff to talk to because I was really scared. I was young. My mum was with me, but she didn't have it. She didn't understand. You know what I mean? She just seen me in pain every day. She just witnessed it. She didn't actually really know how to help on that emotional level of support. So then talking to someone, it was my old babysitter actually, Tara McDermott, I was chatting away to her about it, and she had her surgeries and stuff. So then I was able to sit and talk with her, just had a wee cup of tea, and it just completely reassures you and calms you, and it's you're not going crazy. You know what I mean? And imagine the wee girls that the doctors are saying, oh, you're starting to think it's in your head. Those wee girls don't have anyone to turn around to and say you're not going crazy. I went through it too. So I think talking about it, if you have it, is a big thing as well. Awareness needs to be pushed, but on top of that, then actual therapeutic or therapies or counselling needs to be set up as well for people then to